Hello and welcome to the PhotoVidShow tutorials version 4.41. In today's tutorial we're talking about designing the disk menu or designing the disk menu theme. So what are we talking about when we say disk menu? Now PhotoVidShow has various output options. Normally you want something like to create a DVD video or a Blu-ray or something like that. Other options PhotoVidShow has includes video files. If you want just a video file for the computer or the internet or smart device or anything like that. Now when you have a disk-based output, which is DVD or Blu-ray really, when you play your disc in your standalone disc player, the first thing that normally appears is a menu. So it doesn't instantly start playing your slideshow, it will come up with a disc menu, and from there you can start playing your slideshow. This is typical for DVD and Blu-ray. So by default, when you have DVD or Blu-ray output, you will automatically have a disc menu. This is, as I said, the first thing that's presented when you insert your disc into your player. Now here we set the output type to DVD disc. If you're ever in the editor and you want to go to the disc menu, just select this button here. It's like a little home button. Just left click there and it will go to the disc menu. Because PhotoVidShow does allow you to have multiple slideshows. I know up to now we've only had one slideshow in our DVD, which is what we're going to do today. But sometimes you want to just go back to the disc menu to list all your slideshows, or just to edit, as we're going to do now, the actual disc. Now, out of interest, you don't actually have to have a disc menu for DVD or Blu-ray. It's not obvious when you're from here that you can do this. Say for example you just wanted to put your disc in your standalone player and just play the slideshow straight away, or play all your slideshows one after another just straight away, no disc menu. You can do that, so it doesn't matter what you've got here. When you come to create and burn your disc, which I'll do now, there's an option here called ignore menus and play slideshows one after another. You just tick that, and when you come to create your disc there will be no disc menus in there, so it just starts up and it plays your slideshow like I said. But this tutorial is talking about designing our disc menu a bit more, so we're going to turn it off. So we'll cancel that. Right, the first thing to say is when you go to the disc menu thing here, it normally shows something called a menu structure. They've got menu structure and menu theme. Now the menu structure is the thing that allows you to have multiple slideshows or even multiple menus and things like that. So we're going to cover that in a later tutorial. That's actually more of an advanced option. So for now we're just sticking to one menu, one slideshow, and we just want to change the look and feel of it. So what you need to do is left click on the menu theme tab here, and here we can customize our menu differently. So the first thing I'm going to show you, which is very useful, is this preview menu option here. Actually I'm going to set the music to blank because it's a bit loud. So this is the menu music here. We could set it to some other music, or we can actually just clear it. So we're going to actually, for ours, just clear it. So when we preview the menu, there we can see we're actually now previewing how exactly it will look like on your television when you've played, or you put your disc in the DVD player. Even to the point where you put your mouse over it, it highlights what the highlight colour would be and stuff like that. So that's a useful thing to see. If you want to know exactly what your menu is going to look like, there it is. So going through the different options here, the first option tab here is to set the background. It's clearly just to change the background. PhotoVidShow does come with many different background types, some of them are which are actually videos, as you can see here. If I preview that, it's actually a video background, so that's fine. You can have videos, or you can just have pictures. There are many to choose from. You don't even have to select one of PhotoVidShow's. You can actually set your own by left clicking on set background. Say I want this one, you can have your own background, so you can customize this to how you want. So maybe we want something like that. It's just a nice sort of effect there. The next tab along is layout. So this is just a quick way to show where your slideshow button is here and all your text is. It's just a quick ways to set them up. By default we only have one slideshow, as I said, so often we just want to click on this. There are other ones set up for when we have multiple slideshows. One useful tip here, because we can edit this further in a minute, it's best to select your layout first and then edit your font and other things, because as soon as you've changed one of these you lose all your or everything you've customized yourself. So decide on the layout first here, and then you can edit it later on, which we're going to do in a minute. We've got frame here, which just covers this frame of your slideshow button. There are many to choose from here. You can have things like that, or perhaps we can just have something simple like that. So we're going to select that one. Now these last two options here, navigation and highlight, are really more advanced options which are to do with having multiple slideshows. We'll come back to this in another tutorial, but they're really if you want to navigate to another menu, or you want to have additional buttons on your menu to say play all because you have more than one slideshow, that kind of thing. So we're not going to go through that at the moment. And then we have a highlight tab, is basically the colour when things are highlighted on your menu. If we go back to the preview, as you can see, when you select something in your DVD menu, it goes a certain colour, so you can just alter how that's highlighted. You might want a little square there, or maybe you want some underlined text being highlighted, or you want to change the colour. So we could just change the colour. Let's set it to purple. So when I preview the menu, you can see it's now purple. So things like that. These other things, the navigation button and play buttons, as I said, are really to do with when you've got multiple slideshows. So we're not going to worry about those for now. So I've showed you how to set the background. I've also shown you how to set the menu music. Also from here you can set how long you want the menu for. Normally, as you can see, it just goes on for 45 seconds. As you can see here, it's actually previewing our slideshow in here. If I hit restart, it just restarts that previewing. Now where it starts previewing from, you can actually customize. I did this in an earlier tutorial, but really, as you can see at the moment, it starts on one of these slides in here, from this slide. But if we want it to start previewing from this slide here, then you can just left click that slide and select this set slide as menu thumbnail button. There we go. So now that's where it starts previewing from. You may not want it actually to sort of preview play there. This is what this button does here. So if you untick that, it's just a static picture now. It's not previewing or playing, it's just a preview stopped, I guess. So as I said, you can set the menu length there. 48 seconds is fine. Also, you've got something called zooming background. If you have that ticked, it has this slowly zoom in effect. If you can look here, this is slowly zooming in over the 48 seconds. Sometimes it's just a nice effect you might want to have. So we'll have that turned off, but we'll have to play in thumbnails. Another option here is you can have your menu, but you can actually edit it further. Now normally, to change these texts here on your menu, you just left click on them and you can change the text. So say you want to say France holiday, and you can put something else here to name this particular slideshow, but often if you've just got one slideshow in your DVD, you just want something like that, because you either play the slideshow or nothing at all. So you could put something like that, just to say that when you select enter on your DVD remote, it will start playing the slideshow. So as you can see, that's how it will preview now. But as I said, although you can just left click in there, all you can do is just change the text, so that's fine. But if you actually want to really customize your menu, you've got this edit menu layout font button here. Now I've clicked on that. Now this probably looks familiar if you've done some earlier stuff in PhotoVidShow. This is exactly the same as if I was to click on a slide and select the text and images tab. There you go. It's very similar to that. It's just the same way you could add text and customize things, and so it's very much the same look and feel here. So if I go back to this menu, select edit menu layout, you can now do the same things here. Say I want to increase the size of that, or select the font, change the font to something else, maybe something like that. Sometimes if you've got a background picture like we have there, increasing the transparency is a nice effect. It kind of blends the text with the background. So we could do something like that. We could change the font on this one as well. Maybe we've got something like that. You know, so we could have something like that, and we can customize it more. We could add additional text. You can add clip art to it, or other your own pictures. You can add any of these pictures if you want to. You can add your own custom pictures to it. So, and you can move things around. You can move that slideshow button around. So if you want something, you know, you can move things about. You can just customize how you feel you want your slideshow, your DVD menu. Sorry. Also, you can have motion effects. We covered that in the motion effects tutorial. So you can actually have you can set motion effects on things. So you can really play around here if you want. There we go. So when I select done and preview, there we go. We could have a menu like that. Okay, I think I've covered everything I need to say in this tutorial. I hope you've learned a lot here about how you can customize your DVD menu a bit further, and I'll see you soon for the next tutorial.